What's up, my dude? So did anybody else almost have about 7 heart attacks watching the races last night? Or was that just me? Because, oh my god, those had to been some of the best races I have ever seen in my entire Supercross, motocross watching career. Those were pretty good, dude. Like, oh my god, that 250 race. Oh, god, dude. I mean, I thought, seriously, there was probably 5 different people that I thought could win the championship within that one race. Is that not crazy? Oh my god. So at the very beginning, I was thinking, okay, Osborne has a pretty good chance to win. He's got everything kind of going his way. He's probably somewhat of what I would say the fastest rider if he could get the best start. So I was thinking, okay, Osborne's got a really good chance to win. So they all take off. And then Osborne crashes in the first corner. So then it's like, okay, so Savatgy might win it because he got a pretty decent start. And then Savatgy fell down. So then it was like, okay, Jordan Smith might win it. And then Jordan Smith went down. And then it was like, okay, so then Cincerillo might win it, back in 4th in the points because he was leading the race. And then Savatgy sort of kind of regained his composure a little bit, but he was still kind of falling back at the same time. Kind of hard to explain what Savatgy was doing in that race, but so then it was like, okay, so now Savatgy might win it again. And then Osborne, that is one of the craziest rides I've ever seen on a 250. I don't know if I've ever seen somebody ride a 250 that hard before. There is something about what he did on those last couple laps. Woo-wee! So let me kind of explain it to you. So basically, Savatgy's like back in 7th after he had his little fall down or whatever, and then he was just kind of falling back from there. And then you had Osborne, which crashed in the first corner, so he was trying to come back around, and it started getting right in that area of like 2, 3, 4 laps to go, something like that, and Osborne was 4 seconds behind Savatgy, like 4 or 5 seconds, and we were all thinking, man, there's probably no way he can get him. He's a little too far back. And then those last 2 laps, that is what you call a championship ride. He had like some kind of championship NOS button on that 250F, dude. That motherfucker was flying. I mean, flying. It didn't even look real. That last lap in particular by Osborne, dude, he was like sideways, almost off the side of the track. You know that 250 had to be going like you know he had to be wide open. He looked like he was on an entire nother level than anybody out there. If anybody's seen him on that last lap on that long straightaway sweeper, dude, he was like scrubbing all the way around the corner. I don't know if I've ever seen somebody ride a 250 that hard before. That is like legendary status ride that he put in right there. But so anyways, they get down to like the last lap, and I mean it was like the last 4 or 5 corners. Osborne started catching Savatgy a little bit. We were like, what the heck? How is this happening? And it all happened so quick. It happened within like 4 corners. And it was like, I couldn't even believe it. I mean, I was just sitting there in front of the TV screen with my mouth wide open, feeling like an idiot. I was just like, what? I almost felt like I was in it. That's how crazy it was. And I wasn't even racing. And I was still, like, my heart was beating through the roof. And, dude, it's like I almost couldn't even remember what happened. That's how crazy it was. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my gosh. So what happened was, in the last corner, I mean, it's kind of like the second to last corner technically, but really, I mean, when you talk about a championship scenario, you could pretty much consider that the last corner. So, and the fact that the finish line is like right out of the next corner, so you could almost angle it without even cornering in the next corner, if that makes any sense. But either way, so like basically second to last or last corner there, Savatgy, man, he lost so much time. I don't know where he lost it at. I know he kind of got right behind that one dude. I think he was on a Yamaha. I don't know exactly who it was, but kind of got like behind him a little bit, and it cost Savatgy to lose some time. And Osborne just ran it in there, dude, on the last corner. Ran it in there, and it just like ripped Savatgy's bike away from him. He couldn't do anything. It just ripped it right out of his hands, and then Osborne won the championship. Oh, gosh, dude. It's just crazy because, like, what makes it all the wilder is the fact that Savatgy, lost the championship by 1 point last year in Vegas. And then this year, he had it all there, all there waiting to happen. He got docked the however many points last week for kind of like cutting the track or whatever, like picking up his bike and getting on it and not going around the corner. All that combined, and then to lose it basically in the last corner by somebody that crashed in the first corner. You have to look at every element of it, and that's what makes it so crazy. Like, if you look at it from the outside, it's like, oh yeah, that's kind of crazy. He passed him on the last lap, but if you know the 250 class and you've been watching it and you know what's going down for the past couple years, this is like extreme next level crazy. But yeah, man, passed him in the damn near last corner and beat him in the championship. Oh my God. That is just one heck of a ride, dude. And I mean, with Osborne, if some people might think that was dirty or whatever, I don't think that was dirty at all. I think that was actually, I think all Osborne had on his mind was the checkered flag, the finish line. He wasn't thinking about anything else. And therefore, it wasn't like he was trying to take Savatgy out. He was really just trying to pass him. And there's a big difference between, like, trying to pass somebody and you end up taking them out, and then purposely trying to take somebody out, like going out of your way to take somebody out. I don't really think that's what Osborne did at all. I think he just thought in his mind, okay, if I don't pass him right here or the next corner, then he's going to beat me, so I have to go for the pass. See what I'm saying? And even when you look at how he passed Savatgy, it really didn't look like he was just going in there to blow him out of the water. He really was just trying to pass him, but it just happened to grab Savatgy's bike with him, and then it made it look, I think, a little worse than it actually was. But, like, for me personally, I can tell whenever somebody is, like, intentionally trying to take somebody out. You can see it from a mile away. But, like, when they're just racing and they end up kind of running into somebody, or they make an aggressive pass, it's not like they're trying to take somebody out. They're just making an aggressive pass. There's a big difference there. There's a big difference on, like, how you cut the corner and different stuff like that really makes it where it was, like, done on purpose or not. But I feel like in Osborne's situation, that was all 100% fine. I don't frown upon that at all. I don't look down upon that at all. I think he was strictly going for the pass, and I think that it was a championship-type situation. So he had to do it there or the next corner. He had to for the championship, baby. That was it, So what a race, though, dude. And Savatgy, he had all the gifts handed to him. I mean, you really do have to look at it from the standpoint of, like, if Jordan Smith wouldn't have crashed, then he would have won. If he would have just kept it chill out front, he would have beat Savatgy. And then if Osborne wouldn't have crashed in the first corner, he would have been way further up there in the front, and he would have beat Savatgy. So Savatgy really was gifted, like, incredibly in that race right there. I mean, incredibly. And I don't know what was going on. I don't know if he was just trying to play it safe. Pressure is a crazy thing, dude. It either makes or breaks people. And it's not just the pressure of one race, but like a championship type scenario pressure, I think, is quite the amplified degree than just a race kind of pressure or stressful scenario. People totally change the way they ride. They're not even the same person on the bike when there's like a championship on the line. And but some people are the same, or some people actually even get better when the championship is on the line. People like Osborne, people like Dungey, I feel like those kind of dudes, when it's on the line, that's when they ride their best. So some people, It's like they can use it as fuel, and other people, that fuel ends up catching them on fire and burning them. That's kind of the difference there. But yeah, man, crazy race. My heart was thumping. Almost thought Cincerillo was going to win the championship. Oh, man. He was only a couple points off. That's why you can never give up. Every little point position in every race throughout the whole season, it matters so much. I feel like you just can't afford to play it safe. You can't. There's no way. How can you afford to play it safe? I don't think anybody can at any point in time. I think at the pro level, if you don't get it every chance you have, then somebody, when it gets down to that last race and it's all between a couple of points, you might lose it because you played it a little too safe in 2 rounds ago or something like that. You have to give it everything you got in every round, and that's the only way it adds up in the end. But if you crash, then there goes a lot of points like that. So you got to push it, but it's just being on your limit and not over it. And that's something, I think that's the key to the whole shebang, dude. It sounds so simple, but it's just not. It's not as simple as you would think. It's especially at their level, because they're so fast, and it's just, I don't know, any one little slip up and it could be history. So it definitely is a lot different with those dudes. But yeah, man, what a crazy race. I recommend all you guys going and watching it back if you didn't watch it or whatever, even if you're not even a motocross fan, dude. That was a good race. I just can't believe so many people crashed. The top 3 in the points crashed in the last race. If that doesn't tell you that pressure gets to you, I don't know what does. But I mean, with Osborne's case, him crashing at the beginning, that really wasn't so much his fault at all. So I don't really even think the pressure got to Osborne, quote unquote. I think the pressure helped Osborne. But like with Savatgy and Jordan Smith, I feel like the pressure actually caused their crashes. That's how that was a little bit different. But yeah, dude, good job, Osborne. You totally earned that one, dude. That'll be a 250 race in the history. We'll be looking back on that race 50 years from now and be going, wow, dude, what a finish that race was. And, man, Savatgy's going to have to live with it, dude. Oh, God. Man, Savatgy's got 2 options. He can either use both of these last Supercross seasons to absolutely fire him up to the 10th degree, or he can just go in a downhill depression spiral. That's about the only thing Savatgy can do at this point, man. Woo! I don't know what the heck I would do if I was Savatgy. Man, you just can't play it safe. You can't do it. And the thing about it is like on top of everything, like Savatgy was given all of those gifts, and he still was kind of playing it safe, and you know what I'm saying? And it bit him in the last corner, second to last corner, whatever it was. Man, that's rough. That's a rough one, dude. So he's either going to have to use it for momentum moving forward, and that's about all you can do there. I know it's hard, but that's what you got to do, man. Sometimes that's just the way it goes, and you just, I don't know. It's what happens, and that's the past, and you can't go back. There is no time machines besides music, and music doesn't change really anything that you've done. So that's man, you can't do anything about it now. So all you can do is move on. But that's what's crazy about it is if that race wouldn't have been exactly as long as it was, the championship wouldn't have been the same. Savatgy would have won. If that race wouldn't have been exactly the length of it, if it would have been, like 1 lap instead of 2 laps at the end, or it wouldn't have been the minute system, or whatever the case may be, it could have been a totally different championship outcome. Came down to the last corner. Fuck. Oh, that's so crazy, dude. And you got to think about it. Like, Savatgy and all those dudes, they wait so long. It was the East Coast, wasn't even the West Coast. They wait so long to finish their championship, and even start their championship. And then after having all that happen the year before, that's rough, bro. That's tough. But all you can do is look forward. That's just the best you can do, man. Pretty crazy how both of Alden Baker's dudes are on top. That's pretty sick, man. But yeah, so congrats to Osborne. That was one hell of a ride, dude. Probably the quickest I've ever seen somebody ride a 250 on a Supercross track. Those last couple laps, that has to be the quickest I've ever seen somebody. It didn't even look like he was on a real dirt. It looked like he was on a jet. That's actually what it looked like. But anyways, I appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.